Nobody told you that every photograph ever taken is still moving, not stored somewhere, not archived on a server, moving, right now, through space, at the speed of light. Every wedding photo, every passport picture, every surveillance camera frame from every city on Earth. The light that bounced off those moments didn't just hit a lens and stop. Some of it escaped. Some of it went up and out and past the atmosphere and into the dark between stars, and it never came back. The light that reflected off your face yesterday is already 4 light minutes into space. Nothing you do today will catch it. It carries yesterday's version of you, the one who didn't know this yet, outward into a universe that doesn't care whether you knew or not. This is not metaphor. This is physics. Earth's bond albedo, the fraction of sunlight it reflects back to space, is approximately 0.30. 30% of every photon that hits this planet bounces back out into space, carrying information. A disk-integrated spectrum of our planet, broadcast continuously in every direction, encoding the presence of oceans, continents, polar ice, oxygen, water vapor, and something even stranger, a sharp jump in reflectance between 700 and 750 nanometers that only exists because green plants evolved here and covered the land. From a single unresolved pixel of light, a sufficiently advanced civilization could deduce that Earth has liquid oceans, breathable air, life. We have been sending this signal for 4.5 billion years. We never chose to. We never stopped. And somewhere out there, right now, something is receiving a version of us we no longer are. Here is what exists in space right now as expanding spheres of light centered on Earth. 4.2 light-years out, just past Proxima Centauri, there is a shell of light from 2021. The tail end of a pandemic. Empty streets. Vaccine lines. A year that felt like it lasted a decade. That light is there. Expanding. Moving past the nearest star to another sun. 2.5 million light-years out, at the edge of the Andromeda Galaxy, there is a shell of light from the time when the first stone tool was made. When something not quite human picked up a rock and shaped it with intention for the first time. That moment is out there. Locked in photons. Reaching another galaxy. 66 million light-years out, arriving right now at spiral galaxies NGC 3972 in Ursa Major and NGC 4845 in Virgo. There is light from the last day of the dinosaurs. The Chicxulub asteroid hit the Yucatan Peninsula approximately 66 million years ago. The impact released energy equivalent to billions of nuclear weapons. The sky lit up. The atmosphere ignited at the edges. That flash, that specific, singular, unrepeatable event, sent light in every direction at the speed of light. And the light from that day has been traveling for 66 million years. It is arriving at those galaxies now. ESA's documentation of NGC 3972 notes explicitly that the light we see from that galaxy today left it just when the dinosaurs became extinct. Invert that. The light that left Earth when the dinosaurs went extinct is arriving there now. If anything in NGC 3972 is looking this direction at the right wavelength, they are watching the extinction happen. In real time. Right now. 4.5 billion light-years out, there is light from when Earth was molten rock. No oceans. No atmosphere. No life. Just a cooling ball of magma orbiting a young star, radiating heat into the void. That light exists. Right now. Still moving. Still carrying that image. And 13.8 billion light-years out, almost, there is light that predates Earth entirely. The cosmic microwave background, the oldest light in the universe, fills all of space right now, including the space where you are sitting. It left its source 380,000 years after the Big Bang. Before Earth. Before the Sun. Before the Milky Way had finished forming. It passes through you continuously and you cannot feel it. The universe has been broadcasting since before we existed. We just added our own signal to the noise. Now think about what this means from the other direction. If the light exists, physically, measurably, expanding through space, then anyone at the right distance can receive it. This is not science fiction. The light is there. Physics does not care whether someone is watching. An observer in NGC 3972 right now, 65 million light-years away, is in the exact location to intercept Earth's dinosaur-era light. They can't resolve the planet. The angular diameter of Earth at that distance is 4.3 trillionths of an arc-second. To directly image Earth from there would require a telescope mirror 30 million kilometers wide, 20 times wider than the Sun. No technology we can imagine builds that. But the spectral signature is there. The disk-integrated light. The chemical fingerprint of an oxygen-rich atmosphere. A planet reflecting sunlight with the distinctive spectrum of something alive. They couldn't see the dinosaurs, but they could see that something was alive here. And here is where it becomes permanent in a way that should not be possible to sit with comfortably. That light, the dinosaur-era light arriving at NGC 3972 right now, is arriving exactly once. The sphere passes. An observer who is in the right location right now can catch it. An observer who is slightly too close missed it years ago. An observer who is slightly too far won't receive it for years yet. The window exists for a specific shell of space, right now, and then it moves on. If you miss the window, that moment is gone from your observable universe forever. Not destroyed, still traveling, but already past you, moving away at the speed of light. And since nothing travels faster than light, you cannot catch up to it. You cannot go back and intercept what already passed. The dinosaur extinction happened once. The light from it is passing through a specific region of space right now, and after it passes, no one in that region will ever be able to observe that day again. It is the most irreversible thing in physics. Not black holes. Not heat death. A moment of light, passing a point in space and moving on. 700 million light-years from Earth, in the direction of the constellation Boötes, there is a region of space that astronomers first noticed in 1981 and have never fully explained. It is called the Boötes Void. It is approximately 330 million light-years across. To put that in terms that might mean something, the entire distance from Earth to the Andromeda Galaxy is 2.5 million light-years. The Boötes Void is 130 times that. In every direction. In a region that size, using the average distribution of galaxies in the observable universe, you would expect to find approximately 2,000 galaxies. Astronomers found 60. In a sphere 330 million light-years across. The standard cosmological explanation is that this is the product of small primordial underdensities that merged and grew over billions of years. Smaller voids coalescing like soap bubbles, evacuating matter outward until what remained was one enormous absence. The math works. The models accommodate it. The Boötes Void is statistically unusual, an extreme outlier, but not, technically, impossible in the standard model of cosmic structure. That is the scientific consensus. Here is the question no paper asks directly. Earth has been broadcasting its location for 4.5 billion years. Not intentionally. Just by existing. 30% of all sunlight that hits this planet bounces back into space as a readable signal. Oxygen in the atmosphere. Water vapor. The vegetation red edge, that specific spectral fingerprint at 700 nanometers that only exists because plants are here. We have been sending a continuous broadcast saying this planet is alive for longer than complex animals have existed. The Boötes Void is not some unimaginably ancient structure. At 700 million light-years, the light we see from its edges left before complex animal life appeared on Earth. But not by much. In cosmic terms, it is recent. And it is 330 million light-years of almost nothing. Where 2,000 galaxies should be. The dark forest theory, a framework from both game theory and science fiction, proposes that the silence of the universe is not evidence of absence. It is evidence of strategy. That any civilization advanced enough to make itself detectable becomes a target, and the universe's silence is not emptiness but the permanent aftermath of decisions made by things that understood the rules of the game before we did. This is not the scientific consensus. It is not testable in any conventional sense. But it is worth sitting with this. In a universe where we have found exactly one region 330 million light-years across that is almost entirely empty of the galaxies it should contain, and we have been broadcasting our coordinates for 4.5 billion years, and every single SETI search ever conducted has returned absolute silence. The silence is data. We just don't know what it means yet. In 1906, Reginald Fessenden made the first amplitude-modulated radio broadcast. Music, a human voice, transmitted from Massachusetts into the air. That signal left Earth. It has been traveling at the speed of light for 120 years. By 2026, Earth's radio bubble, the expanding sphere of our electromagnetic emissions, has a radius of approximately 120 light-years. Inside that bubble is everything. Every radio broadcast, every television transmission, every radar ping, every military communication, every accidental leak of electromagnetic noise from 120 years of a civilization discovering electricity and forgetting that space is not a closed room. 120 light-years sounds like a lot. The Milky Way is 100,000 light-years across. Our entire radio history is a bubble 0.12% of the galaxy's width. A microscopic speck. A fraction of a fraction of a fraction of our own galaxy, let alone the observable universe. But it is expanding. And it cannot be recalled. The Arecibo message, a deliberate transmission sent in 1974, a 1679-bit binary sequence aimed at a star cluster 25,000 light-years away, has traveled 52 light-years so far. It will not reach its destination for another 24,948 years. There is no way to intercept it. No way to send a correction. No way to say, wait, we weren't ready, we didn't mean to announce ourselves, we were still figuring out whether that was a good idea. A megawatt analysis of Earth's anthropogenic emissions from 1900 to 2025 found that combined civilian radar systems radiate approximately 20 quadrillion watts. Military systems add focused beams of 100 trillion watts in specific directions. Planetary radar at Arecibo transmitted with an effective isotropic radiated power of up to 100 trillion watts, meaning that in its focused direction, it was one of the brightest radio objects in the galaxy. We were shouting. We are still shouting. The leading edge of our signal is currently passing through a region of space containing several hundred star systems. SETI calculations suggest that with technology comparable to our own, Earth's strongest radar emissions might be detectable up to 10,000 to 12,000 light-years away by a sufficiently advanced receiver. 10,000 light-years. That is 10% of the galaxy. Every search for extraterrestrial intelligence has returned silence. Breakthrough Listen has examined nearly 1 million objects. The Cosmic Survey at the Very Large Array found nothing. A 2026 search of 61 exoplanet candidates across the 1 to 11 GHz band found no signals of interest. The galaxy is silent. And we are the only ones making noise. That could mean we are alone. Could mean something else entirely. Now flip everything. We look out at the universe and see a sky full of stars and galaxies. We see structure, history, evidence of billions of years of cosmic evolution. We see light from the Andromeda galaxy that left 2.5 million years ago. We see light from quasars that left 10 billion years ago. We see, with JWST, galaxies so distant that their light left only 300 million years after the Big Bang. We are not seeing the universe. We are seeing the universe's past. Every single object in the sky, every star, every galaxy, every nebula, we see it as it was when its light left, not as it is now. The star Sirius is 8.6 light-years away. When you look at Sirius, you see it as it was 8.6 years ago. Some of the stars visible to the naked eye are hundreds of light-years away. Some are 1,000. Some of those stars, the ones you can see right now on any clear night, have already died. Their light is still arriving. But the star itself collapsed billions of years ago, and the news hasn't reached us yet. You're looking at ghosts. The entire visible night sky is an archive of things that no longer exist as you see them. JWST's images of galaxies 13 billion light-years away are photographs of objects that, in their current form, we will never see. The light took 13 billion years to arrive. In that time, those galaxies merged, evolved, changed beyond recognition, and the universe itself expanded so dramatically that their current position is now billions of light-years further than the light travel distance suggests. We are seeing the past of a universe we can never actually observe in present tense. And now the mirror. We are that to someone else. Whatever is at the right distance sees the Earth we used to be, not the Earth we are. The version of us currently arriving at NGC 3972 is not reading this, is not aware of JWST, has no cities, no radio signals, no technology. It is an Earth that doesn't know it will eventually develop something capable of understanding what is happening right now. We are someone else's ancient history. We are already a ghost in someone else's observable universe. We just haven't died yet. Right now, this second as you are reading this or hearing this, light is leaving your city. Not eventually. No. Photons are bouncing off streets and buildings and faces and screens and escaping upward through the atmosphere at 300,000 kilometers per second. In 1 second, that light has traveled 300,000 kilometers into space. In 8 minutes, it has passed the Sun. In 4 years, it reaches Proxima Centauri. In 100 years, it has left the bubble of known stars and is moving through the dark. In 1,000,000 years, it is still moving. In 1,000,000,000 years, it is still moving. Most of it will never be seen by anything. The universe is almost entirely empty. The fraction of space occupied by matter, by stars, planets, dust, gas, anything, is so small that most photons travel forever without hitting anything. The light leaving your city right now will almost certainly travel for the entire remaining lifetime of the universe, trillions of years, and encounter nothing. But it will be there. Permanent, encoded, irreversible. You cannot unbroadcast yourself. You cannot recall the light that has already left. You cannot reach out to the photons that carried yesterday's version of your face and ask them to stop, to come back, to not announce that you exist to a universe you don't fully understand. You're already out there. You have always been out there. Since the day you were born, light has been leaving you and traveling into space and carrying evidence of your existence outward in every direction at the maximum speed the universe permits. And this has been true of every human who ever lived. Every person who ever walked on this planet is encoded somewhere in an expanding sphere of photons, still moving, still carrying whatever light reflected off that life and escaped the atmosphere. The universe has a record of everyone. Not a metaphor. Not a comforting idea. A physical fact. Physics says information is never truly destroyed, only scrambled, dispersed, hidden in increasingly complex correlations among particles that no practical instrument could ever decode. The information exists. In principle, it exists forever. In practice, it becomes irretrievable almost immediately. But the difference between irretrievable and gone is not nothing. It is the difference between a thing that exists and cannot be accessed, and a thing that simply does not exist. The universe kept the record. It just won't show it to anyone. We searched 330 million light-years of apparent emptiness in the Boötes Void and found 60 galaxies where 2,000 should be. We searched 120 years of radio signals and found nothing coming back. We searched millions of star systems with the most sensitive instruments ever built. Silence. And right now from this planet, light is still escaping. Still carrying our signal outward. Still announcing our coordinates to whatever is out there, at whatever distances can receive us, whether or not they respond, whether or not the silence means what we hope it means. We cannot stop broadcasting. We never could. We were transmitting before we had a word for transmission. The universe already knows we're here. What it decides to do with that information, or what already decided long before we were asking the question, we don't know. We may never know. The silence continues, and the light keeps moving. The Boötes Void is real. Its diameter is approximately 330 million light-years. It contains roughly 60 known galaxies where standard models predict 2,000. No peer-reviewed explanation has been confirmed. Earth's radio signals have been traveling into space since approximately 1906. They cannot be recalled. The light that left Earth 66 million years ago is currently arriving at galaxies in the Virgo and Ursa Major region. The physics is confirmed. The implications are yours to sit with. All breakthrough listen searches have returned null results. None of this is metaphor. The universe isn't listening. Or it already heard.